Hello folks, in this one we're going to be looking at Letdown by Radiohead. I saw this recently on the TV show The Bear. It's at the end of season 1, I believe, which is rad. So I thought I'd do it. First off, tones. I'm just using a clean tone with a bit of reverb, basically. And same for Tom. Little bit of reverb. So I'm using the Boss ME90 for all the tones, just straight into my audio interface. So let's crack on, shall we? Tom's parts first. Chords are A, E, F sharp minor, E. That's for the main part, right? But for the very first part, you're going to actually come in on the A and hang on that for 4 bars before you go into the main first riff, right? And the strumming pattern, again, it's very difficult to hear what's going on with Tom's parts. Very low in the mix, but something like... Pretty straightforward, right? And then in the verse, I would just carry that straight on, right? And then just change to those chords that I mentioned earlier. So we have 3, 4... back around, okay? The other main part is the chorus. Again, not terribly difficult, but the phrasing is a little unusual. We have this. Like that, right? So you go around that twice, then you play... That's it. So let's go through that. D chord, second finger off. I then take my third as well off. And then I go for a traditional sort of A shape, right? Which is second finger, first finger, third finger. I take them all off there. When you get to the D5 with F sharp in the bass, use your thumb to mute the A string. But the strumming pattern there is going to be down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. It's a little bit weird because it's a 3-bar phrase. So we have slowly. One more time. And then the last time. So that is just same there, right? That just rings out for 2 beats there. Then to the E. 2, 3, 4, A. You just let that ring out for about 4 bars, I think it is, okay? That's it. Then you do the verse again. Another chorus. Then that again. And then it cuts out for a little while. You've got this comes in again. Which you'll hear just before verse 3, does that for 2 bars. Then the verse is the same and another chorus. And then the outro is something along these lines. You'll hear some arpeggiation going on. And you finish on the A, right? It's pretty straightforward. You've got the tab, so I won't labour it too much, but it's essentially slowly. like that basically, and then you end on the A. So that's Tom's part. I'm going to go through the rest pretty quick as well, because it is quite simple, but I spent a long time going through this, just listening to the guitar track as best I could. So I think I've got it pretty bang on to what Johnny plays, but I am going to race through this. So this basically is going to be sounding really weird. When I first started playing this, I was like, I don't know how they know where to come in any of this, because his part is so unusual. You have a 5/8 note phrase, then that's the riff, right? But obviously like that, right? So that's one time round. But obviously you're playing a weird number of notes, really, so it doesn't fit within the 4/4 time signature, which this is in. So you go around it twice. That's once, right? You go around that twice, and then you play. Then the drums come in, right after that. So then the pattern becomes. But because of where the drums come in, you perceive then the riff to have sort of shifted about, and it really hasn't. So just get in your own little world, basically. Be like Johnny and just nail through this. It's pretty straightforward. I'm using my little finger, first finger. You need to arch your fingers enough so you can get in that open E string. Just play it around and around, okay? Once the drums come in, you're going to go through this whole phrase. So you're going to go around that whole chunk, right? But then it becomes a repeatable kind of 5-bar pattern, okay? You play that twice. You're starting on the... like that, right? 3rd and 4th bar. All right. I mean, that's the 5th bar. It just sounds nothing like the tune when you do it in isolation. So you're just going to basically go around it for 5 bars twice. Repeat it around. Then you repeat the first 2 bars of that phrase. Then you go into this variation, right? And I'm going to play through this variation. It's 8 bars, I think. Yes, it's 8 bars. So that would be this. Then you're into the chorus. It's really hard to tell what he's playing in the chorus, but it sounds like this. I've just gone by the notes you hear, which is... You hear that, right? But I think he fills it out with just open strings. Like that, okay? And you repeat around. Quite tricky, actually. You might find it easier to play quicker. You play that whole thing around twice. 3rd time you're going to play. You got that going on, right? So it's same as before. 9th fret. That bit's worth doing again. Into that E part, right? And then Tom goes to the A, and you're back into that bit, okay? It's just incredible how they've turned that into this tune. It really is. Next verse starts with all that good stuff again, right? And you're going to do this for, again, the 5-bar phrase, right? The drums come in after 4 bars, so they'll come in here. There. That's the 5th bar. That's where the drums come in. So it's just so jarring if you're thinking in terms of Johnny's stuff. Once you start playing along with it, you can just kind of go along and the rest of the band will take care of it. Then you go around it again, then there's into another variation. So we have this same part. Oops. So the variation then is... Then you're going to go into this part. It plays this. Really straightforward, okay? And I think it is as simple as that, right? So again, the transition would be... And then you're into basically dotted 8th notes throughout, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so... Round that, right? So it's a 3-bar phrase this time. You repeat that 3 times, and then coming out of it... And we're into the chorus again. You already know the chorus, but for a refresher. That stuff again with... Then Ed's part comes in. Now, Ed's part is capoed at the 7th fret. You can see him doing that live. He plays a load of noodly stuff throughout. He's brilliant at that. And it really just works so nicely between the 3 guitar parts and the keyboard, but it's so intermeshed and sporadic. It's very difficult to kind of sort of tab that out. But this part is cool because it's played on his own. So you don't need a capo there, really. I mean, it's easier if it is capoed, but you can play it like this. So the first part is this: 3, 4, 1. It's the first 2 bars, okay? Just holding like an octave shape kind of there, ready to play that. Then you go a bit more picking this time. I mean, this is where it's easier because the 7th fret, it would be just open. But you can play it at a stretch like this. 1st finger, 4th finger, 2nd finger. Next part then is... that going on. So again, slowly. So you've got to change shape there. Little sort of power chord on the G string there. And the last part, before it goes into noodliness. And then once you've done that, it's just noodling to the end along those lines. And you're done. That is it. So all the bits you need. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you soon.